welcome to your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Hey, I always forget to tell you guys, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button on these videos if you like them. If you don't like them, then don't. But it helps other people find the show and all the Buckeye content we have. And if you hit subscribe, you'll get notified when we go live, things like that, when a new video comes out. So all of that is greatly appreciated. And again, it's free, does not cost you a penny, and does not bother you in any way. So I appreciate it. And it helps people find our content. So I thank you. Please visit the Buckeye Cast if you're looking for more Buckeye gear, Buckeye videos, everything Buckeye related. The Video Vault is an ad-free video area. You can check it out. There's over 300 videos, a ton of recruiting stuff, everything you can need to cheer on your Buckeyes. So today we're talking offensive two deep, kind of depth chart. We'll go all the way deep. We're going to need a lot of dudes this year. Ryan Day's been pounding that home, and I've been saying the same thing. In a 16-game season, you're going to need at least three at each position that can play, not just warm bodies. So we're talking offense today. Tomorrow we'll do the defense. So keep an eye out for that. Let's start with the QBs. We talked about quarterbacks quite a bit yesterday and the separation I'm seeing and hearing from the quarterback position. I got Will Howard, the fifth-year senior, as my starting quarterback going into the fall. And then behind him, got Devin Brown. Again, at the time of recording this, nobody's entered the portal, so things could change, and we'll adapt accordingly. So Devin Brown, your third-year sophomore. Then behind him, I think Julian Saint's kind of equaled Lincoln Keenholz there at the third string quarterback. Lincoln being the redshirt freshman, Julian the true freshman. So I think they looked kind of equal in the spring game. I mean, a small sample size, I know, but Saint's got a accurate, quick release, and he processes things, goes through his progressions quicker. But then I got Aaron Nolan bringing up the rear there, but he just needs more reps, more time in the system. Again, true freshmen are not expected to be in the two deep, at Ohio State. So Devin Brown and Will Howard, they're going to split. They split reps throughout the spring practice. So should be noted, Will Howard was the only quarterback that took reps with the starting offense in the spring game. The battle's going to continue into fall camp. How far into fall camp is the question. We don't want to get into a scenario like last season where we're taking it into the season, right? But Howard and Brown have separated themselves from the other three quarterbacks, no doubt about that. Julian Saint's made a push for the number 3 spot with Lincoln Keenholz, and then Air looked good in the second half of the spring game, but again, just needs more reps. So running backs, I got Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Travion's the senior, Quinshon's the junior. I've got them equal. Those guys are both starter level. Since Dallin Hayden entered the portal, everybody behind them moves up a spot. So Ryan Day wants 5 scholarship running backs. You got Peoples. He'd be my third man in, the true freshman. James Peoples, and then SWD 24, Sam Williams-Dixon, the other true freshman, will be my 4th guy in. And then TC Caffey, can we get this guy a scholarship? He's a redshirt sophomore. Had the injury last year that knocked him out of part of the season. So those are my 5. Do they bring in a piece from the portal? Definitely is worth it if we're not going to give Caffey a scholarship, which I don't know why we're holding out on him. He's a walk-on that they really like. He's been around for a few years now. If he's healthy, can he get a scholarship, really? So maybe there's a depth piece in the portal, but that running back from UMass the crystal ball that went in for him has been removed, deleted. So that's not happening. All right. Let's talk X receiver. I got Carnell Tate starting at the X. He's a true sophomore. Behind him, Kojo Antwi, the red shirt. And that's about it. We're kind of short on receivers right now, so it'll be interesting to see if they go into the portal. There's that Kyle Ford guy from UCLA that supposedly has been in contact with Chip Kelly. We'll see. Carnell Tate's a no doubt starter though. And then you got true freshman Demarion Witten. He'll come in over the summer. He could factor into this position. He's going to start out with the receivers. He's probably going to shift over to tight end eventually, but for this season, it looks like he's going to start with the receivers. Maybe he could factor into the depth there. And then Kojo Antwi, he's dealt with injuries during spring, but is now healthy. So we're going to need all the dudes we can muster up there. At the Z receiver, I got Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman monster. Then behind him, redshirt junior Jaden Ballard, and behind him, Keon Graves, redshirt sophomore. He's another one that's battled injuries, just kind of been recruited over, of course. I mean, so is Ballard. Ballard has been recruited over multiple times. So Jeremiah Smith looks like he has jumped to starter level wide receiver at Ohio State. Ballard started the spring game over Smith, but you can't keep JJ off the field for Ballard. Ryan Day said after the spring game that Ballard needed to step up. And then you got five-star receiver Mylan Graham coming in June. So that adds another depth piece. You know, maybe he works out at the X just for depth to get started, you know, because they end up learning every position in the wide receiver room anyways. So they have to cross-train them out. Then at the slot, I think you're going to start out with Emeka Egbuka, the senior, at the slot. Ennis right behind on him on his heels, the sophomore, and then Bryson Rogers, redshirt freshman, behind Ennis. Now Emeka is going to line up all over the field. We talked about that, but with Jeremiah Smith really exploding in spring ball, the slot is going to have to be where Emeka starts out. You know, injury hurt Brandon Ennis for the spring, so he should be good to go for fall camp and this season. So that's good. And Bryson Rogers, he took advantage of his opportunities and is showing more consistency and making plays. So good news there all around. The more Emeka moves around, the more Ennis can get on the field, and that's what I'd like to see. Tight ends. G. Scott Jr. is your redshirt fifth-year senior. Then Will Kazmarek, the transfer from Ohio, redshirt junior. Jelani Thurman, redshirt freshman. Patrick Gerd is a walk-on, but he's been working in at the fullback, kind of like Mitch Rossi, that kind of role. And then you got Bennett Christian. No idea what we have there. He was suspended all last year with the PED thing. So Kazmarek, Thurman, and Christian are all going to try to earn a spot in the 12 personnel lineups. Maybe Gerd too. You could probably put him in that group. So G. Scott is your number one tight end. Then who they pair with him in 12 personnel is a big question mark. So we'll see. I really would like to see Jelani get on the field, especially if they're going to throw the ball to him. He's an obvious weapon, but we'll see. Freaky. Left tackle. Let's get through the O-line here. I got Josh Simmons, obviously. Then George Fitzpatrick, Zen Mahalski, and Deontay Armstrong. George Fitzpatrick had a solid spring at the left and the right tackle. He only played in 4 games in his 2 years with Ohio State, but Fry really needs to play the backups in these blowout games. True freshman Deontay Armstrong is a monster of an athlete, and he's gotten stronger over the spring. So he could make a push over the summer and into fall camp. Maybe he gets into the 3 deep, maybe he moves up a spot or 2 here or there. Left guard. Donovan Jackson, obviously the senior, he's your starter. Austin Sareveld has gotten a lot of looks there, a lot of reps this spring with the twos. Enoch Vamahi, 6-year guy, COVID year guy, hasn't shown us much yet or ever. And then Devontae Armstrong, the other twin, is behind Enoch. Sarveld's also been working with the twos, which shows his growth and his talent in this kind of thin position group. So I think that's a big deal that he's moved up a couple spots in just his second year. Center, Seth McLaughlin, the fifth-year senior, transfer from Alabama. He's your starter. Carson Hinsman behind him. Then redshirt freshman Josh Padilla, and then Toby Wilson. He's a redshirt junior. So Seth McLaughlin got the start in the spring game. He and Carson Hinsman got reps with the ones at center throughout spring. But McLaughlin's experience makes him an easy choice at starter, in my opinion. He's got like 25 starts in the SEC with Alabama. Hinsman did start all of last year except the Cotton Bowl, but he was not good, and he admitted as so. Josh Padilla had some good reps this spring, and he's the future center going forward eventually. Right guard, you got Luke Montgomery, Tegra Shabola, and Carson Hinsman all battling for that right guard spot. Tough call. I think Tegra's natural position is guard. I'm not sure he's a tackle, but whatever. Hinsman, he's your backup center. I don't know if he can play right guard. And Luke Montgomery is the most athletic, I think, of the three. And you can put Enoch behind them if you needed a fourth guy. But Luke Montgomery spent most of the spring with the ones at right guard. Hinsman got the start in the spring game, though. And then you got to remember the spring game is just one practice of 15 in over the spring period. But Justin Fry wanted Hinsman and McLaughlin to compete at center before giving them a look at right guard. And the transfer portal is still an option, both at right guard and right tackle. Right tackle, you got Josh Fryer. Looks like he's solidified that. Fifth-year guy. Tegra, right behind him. Tegra's a third-year redshirt sophomore. Then Ian Moore, the true freshman, behind him, and Miles Walker, redshirt freshman. He's battled some injuries here over spring, but this one's pretty solid. I think Fryer's the starter there. He's really reshaped his body and refined his footwork, dropped his body fat percentage. Hopefully he's worked on his flexibility and stuff. Tegra, he could end up being the sixth or seventh man in because he could play guard or tackle on the O-line. So there's that. And there's an outside shot that a starter level tackle will be in the portal. Who knows? Outside shot, maybe. Who knows? But the Buckeyes will take a peek. So that's your offensive depth chart. Don't be offended. Hope you guys are having a good week. And please visit thebuckeyecast.com. And again, hit like, subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. And we appreciate you. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.